2020 has been like a curveball no one could get a handle on. Trend forecasters were ducking and diving the out-of-control, ever-changing direction of global trends, public opinion, and the actual chaos on the ground. Compiling this list of what could be considered just 10 global trends was a difficult task. We were all completely united as COVID-19 brought us to our knees, but at the same time very divided by so many other strong beliefs. Let's take a look. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Number 1. To mask or not to mask? No fashion gurus out there could have predicted the 3-layer face mask would have been the most must-have item of 2020. Overnight, clothing factories that previously manufactured high-street couture were transformed into face mask manufacturing facilities, ready to send up to millions of masks to every corner of the planet. The Global Million Mask Challenge was taken up by anyone with a sewing machine at home to provide free face masks to those who couldn't afford one or needed them when there was initial global shortages for frontline workers. Once we all got over the fact that COVID was happening and we were suddenly in the market for masks, new debates began. There were those who agreed to mask up and combat the spread of the virus, and those that, well, didn't. It became a form of protest not to wear a mask. Whatever side of the mask debate you were on, it's still a hot topic, just like this year's most worn garment. Number 2. Karen shaming. 2020 was the year that poor Karen finally got her comeuppance and took everyone with the name Karen down with her. Wikipedia explains it pretty well. Karen is a pejorative term for someone as entitled or demanding beyond their scope of what is appropriate or necessary. The meme evolved to depict white women who used their privilege to demand their own way at the expense of others. It was about time we called out people who call the cops unnecessarily and cause a ruckus at the food hall if a pickle was left on her son's hamburger. But it wasn't great the way it caused some innocent Karens to be typecast for being a bit too Dudley do-gooder. We just hope it doesn't prevent people from stepping in when someone legitimately needs a stranger to help. Number 3. Green pressure. 2020 presented real public pressure on brands to go green or go home. The public wanted more than new and improved claims that didn't have any real effect. Super sleuths of the internet uncovered all of the dirty secrets that corporations were hiding and tried to hold them accountable for the mess they made. The knock-on effect of the pressure has been a mainstreaming of alternative plastics and adopting sustainable practices and a vocal online audience that will keep companies accountable if it turns out to be just lip service. Number 4. Cancel culture. Cancel culture went up a frenzied notch in 2020. It's always been borderline witch hunting, so it can be dangerous territory when the mob gets started. In case you haven't witnessed cancel culture yourself, it's ostracism in the modern sense, often including online and social media coverage that kicks a person out of their social or professional circle very unceremoniously. To be canceled pretty much means you're looking for a new job, friends, and social media account name. Some of the most famous cancels were Glee's Lea Michele and Ellen for bad workplace culture, then Jimmy Fallon for a blackface sketch he did in 2000, and J.K. Rowling made some transphobic comments. Doja Cat and Lana Del Rey were called out for racial slurs, which earned Lana the trending #LanaDelRacist. Least surprising of all is that Shane Dawson was cancelled for being a jerk and a creep, and if Jada Pinkett Smith says you're a creep, well, you're a first-class creep because she's royalty. Number 5. Antifa vs NeoNazi. Fascism and neo-Nazi groups have seen a slow rise in the past 10 years, but 2020 was like their Arab Spring, which saw radical and sudden protests in the streets. This movement began in the US after rising awareness of the unfair treatment of people of color and police brutality toward them. Radical political views became a watershed that split the US and the world ahead of the October elections between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. What started about systemic racism turned into a battle in the streets on anything from gun rights to mask wearing, and whether or not COVID-19 was a conspiracy. Those opposing the fascist right were labeled Antifa, short for anti-fascists. They often organized themselves in nightly protest marches, usually dressed in all black and often carrying weapons. Number 6. Puzzles and bread. On the complete other end of the scale to those taking to the streets to protest were those spending lockdown in their homes baking and building puzzles. Bread baking became one of the largest pastimes to stave off boredom and some insatiable stay-home hunger. Everyone had a picture of a baked bread to share on social media from March into mid-May. When the bread coma finally wore off, we realized we had dancing to shake off those pounds, but more on that later. Number 7. Alternative meats. 2020 was the year of plenty in the alternative meat arena, and with rumors swirling that COVID-19 came from a variety of animals, many opted out of real meat as the options got tastier. Previously, vegans had little more than soy and tofu to choose from in their meat-free alternatives freezer, but now the aisles are lined with alternatives. Seitan, a product of wheat gluten, offers the density of meat and a great source of protein in one. Fermented beans, tempeh was roasted, toasted, fried, and dried to create all sorts of new products that are entirely vegan-friendly. Jackfruit, the smelly banned fruit in Thailand hotels, has become the poster child for alternative meats for its versatility and texture. Number 8. Global burnout. In 2020, there was no denying how right Pascal Chabot was with the opinion he proposed in his book in 2013 and adapted documentary Burning Out. We witnessed firsthand how burnout was more of a disease of civilization rather than an individual problem. As we heap on more and more remedies for the pressures of modern life, it's hard to know what came first, our need for this type of help, or a brand's wily nature to rush in and provide solutions at a premium. It's a bit of a chicken and egg scenario with regards to the healing, but there's no more denying the exhaustion we are all collectively feeling. Number 9. TikTok everything. 2019 might have been when TikTok went global, but 2020 was the year TikTok went mainstream. The dance challenge platform was everywhere. No grandma could shuffle to the bathroom without becoming a viral TikTok sensation to the soundtrack of Siren Song or Savage Love or whatever we're calling Jaywash 685's track. TikTok was banned in India in June, then Pakistan in October, and Trump banned it from the 12th of November from a previous executive order signed in August, which was overthrown before it came into effect. The bans all stem from countries' political relationships with China where it originates, and plus, politicians are just irritated with how much time their teenage daughters are spending on the app. Number 10. Zoom, work, workouts, and working it. Before 2020, only a few paranoid corporate types knew about Zoom. By March 2020, we used it more in a day than Google. The overnight success was actually 9 years in the making, as their CEO Eric Yuan had plugged away at the paperwork for going public and creating a platform that offers what rivals haven't been able to deliver in terms of reliability and access. Thanks to their efforts, many were able to stay in touch, be taught, stay fit, and have a lifeline during lockdown when life got really lonely. So, Aluxers, what affected you the most in 2020? What are your trend predictions for 2021? Tell us in the comments. And of course, you stuck with us until the end, you know what that means. Here's your bonus. Jerusalem a dance wave. One clear shining light in 2020 was the global dance wave Jerusalema. In February, Angolan dance troupe Fenomenos do Samba shot a video of themselves dancing to the song by South African artist Master KG featuring Nomsebo Zikode. It took off across the globe, and the hashtag Jerusalem a Dance Challenge encouraged groups, schools, friends, and companies to post videos dancing to the catchy song. In South Africa, the president himself challenged the country to mask up and get out and do the Jerusalem Challenge on the country's National Heritage Day. Turns out, not everything that was catchy in 2020 was bad. Till next time, Aluxers, thanks for watching.